How do you learn who you really are? It's not found in books, it's found on the battlefield. Yeah, how you like that? That's the intro. What's up,
Power.
Warriors? Welcome to the Warriors Way Mindset. My name is Rick, and I am joined today by Andrew in South Africa, who we actually got a chance to have a conversation, and we're just going to record today and see where it goes. Andrew, give him a little bit of who the heck are you, man? Like, what's your thing? And then let's just start hanging out.
So I'm just going to shoot it out. What's up, Warriors? My name is Andrew. I am from Cape Town, South Africa. I'm currently working in sales and marketing at a coffee roastery, Truth Coffee, represent. And through a couple of different paths, I have found myself on the Warriors mindset. And I'm now been speaking to Rick for a couple weeks now and been, part of his mentorship. Let's call it that. Is that right? And through that, we just started speaking. So I've really enjoyed what he has to say, and he's challenged a few of my thoughts and beliefs and just allowed me to just get a better sense of understanding to things that I once thought I understood. So yeah, I'm just continuing on this path and spending a little more time and continuing to dig deeper and go down this journey as I develop my own warrior mindset.
I love it, man. So awesome. Crazy proud of you too. We've had some cool battles already. I like a few things. I may go in a different direction on this, but what are some of the things so far that you've been like, damn it, Rick? Damn it. You got me with this one. What are some of your favorites so far? And then let's evolve from there.
Okay, so the one that I really focused on last week, which I really enjoyed, was when we focused on respect. All right, respect was a big one that I really enjoyed. I actually wrote it down. You said to me that it's a made-up belief system within our evolving measurement system we use to evaluate fairness, values, and potential. Now, for a long time, I've understood the word respect, but I never could actually define it. I remember in our first call, you asked me, what is respect to you? And I thought, I mean, I don't actually know. I can tell you what respect is not. I can tell you what disrespect is, but I couldn't actually get a proper definition. And once you gave me the definition, I really started to sit on it because, we broke down the words of what respect means. And it really challenged my thinking because I started to realize that respect to one person may be different to another person because, as you said, it is a made-up belief system within our own measurement system. So what I consider respect is different to what you may consider respect. And that really made me think because, well, we all have a different view on life, and it's really made me look back at some of my past events and reassess, which I've been sitting with, mainly reassess myself. And this is something I actually wanted to speak to you about because, like I said, I sat with this for a while. And the part that I really wanted to dive into is because follow my train of thought here is how do you sit with yourself, and how do you understand yourself? Now, I'm on a journey to develop a warrior mindset and a different mindset and bettering myself. But I also know who I was in the past, and things I've done, things I've said, actions I've taken, things that I look at myself in the past and think, was I a shit person? And I sit with that. And even though, I'm trying to better myself, I know what I've done, and I know who I was. And it's not as easy to sit with as it once was.
I agree with you. I really like these questions, man. I'm actually super proud that you're challenging yourself. The thing that people don't like to do is they don't like to be challenged. We like to think that we like to have a challenge, but people like to win. And some of these questions are not winnable questions. People don't like that. I want to just win. Give me the easy one. And I think it's great. How do you sit with yourself? This leads to the question where people say, like, I know who I was or I know who I am. And I go, great. Who are you? And people try to define it by what I've done or what my job is or what my status at a place is, or I'm a dad, I'm a business owner, I'm a employee, I'm a something. You go off of actions, but that's not who you are. That's what you do. Who are you? I had a great call with a guy yesterday who was like, I know what I do, but I don't know who I am. Isn't that odd? This will lead me to judgments, I'm sure, at some point, how people are so judgmental these days about each other people. Like, as far as I'm going to judge you, I'm going to judge you, I'm going to judge you. You're good, you're bad, you're tall, you're short, you're skinny, you're fat. Judge, judge, judge. Right?
I'm with you.
Well, how much, if I ask you, who are you? If you had to give me a percentage, how much do you say I really know myself?
Now this is exactly what I've been thinking about, is I try to define that for myself, because I feel like I do know myself, and I say, like, because I know what I like, what I don't like. I know what I stand for, what I don't stand for. I believe that I know who I want in my life and who I don't, where I want to be, what I want to do. So I feel like I've got a firm belief in myself. But if I look at the person I was in the past, and even not even that long ago, like 2, 3 years ago. Did someone just win a prize?
My dog just won a prize.
No, just kidding. Um, so my thing is, like, if I even look at just 2, 3 years ago and I think about who that person was and what that person or that version of myself wanted, what I wanted, where I wanted to be, what I thought I enjoyed doing, who I perceived myself to be, consider as opposed to who I am now as the man that sits before you, that is even asking someone else for help. Like, that's even like, for me, I'm like, yeah, bro, just do this shit myself, just figure it out. But I mean, if I could, then I wouldn't be here. So let's just be real about that. Like, if I knew the answers, I wouldn't be asking you. So this is why I struggle to create a definition of that. And that's why, like, I sit and I think to myself, like, I know aspects of myself, but do I know myself as a whole? And truthfully, I question that. And I can say that I know that I'm ever changing. My opinions are changing. My thoughts are changing. Even my belief systems are changing. And like I said, it led me on a path just by a simple definition of what is respect. So it's been a journey.
So if you had to give yourself a percentage of, like, if I have to be as accurate as I can, how much would you say my percentage of I really do know myself? At least this percentage.
Let's go with, I'm a top achiever. I'm going to go with 80%.
Wow, you are my highest number so far. Before you, my
Oh,
highest was
God.
50%. You're like, oh shit, can I change it?
Yeah,
Ma'am, I was just trying to be,
man.
I'm being optimistic here. So it's like, all right, on your journey, I got 20% more of myself I have to figure out. Now, it's not 100%, right? Now, with you trying to figure yourself out, 80% is a high number. That's a fantastic number. That's a very confident number. Okay. How
Confident
much
man.
would you say of what you know of you, other people truly, authentically know of you?
Ooh. Um, as a whole, 20%,
You
25%.
you got high numbers, man. These are high, like,
I
truly, authentically know at least 20 to 25% of who you really are.
I I mean, that's like I said, maybe my gauge is off.
No, no, it's personal. So it's,
I'm I'm just trying to. I feel like I'm quite real. I can also be perceived as an asshole many times, because I'm like pretty authentic. Like, I'll tell some people, like, no man, that's a dumb idea, or no, I don't like it, or that just it tastes bad. That I don't think it's gonna work. I'm like, I'm pretty open and honest, and I feel like I personally feel like I try to be authentic, and like I try to live by what you see is what you get. And that's why I say I feel like most people that know me would know. I don't know, I'm gonna go with 20%, 25%. It, like I said, I'm gauging this on pure thought.
No, it's also it's a very subjective question. So no worries, there's no wrong answers. All right, so if you know you 80%, and probably the highest person is probably 20%, most people is probably going to be in single digits, real talk. Like, but your closest people would maybe know you 20%. What do you think the qualifications of somebody who only knows 20 to less than 10% about something is to be able to assess and judge? So let's say, like, I only know 10% about something, but let me tell you how it works, or let me tell you what I think it is. Do you think that person would be qualified for their judgment to be accurate?
No, definitely not. Who would
No.
listen to someone that only knows 10% of what they're talking about?
Correct. Now, when it comes to knowing ourselves, most people know far less. You know, I think 50% was the highest. I think optimistically, people are like, real talk with how much I truly know. Why do I feel what I feel? And what is respect and leadership and trust and love? And I don't fucking know. And like when we start really challenging the stuff, like how much, what's happiness? What is joy? You know, what are these different things? Like, how do I define what I believe my purpose is in my life? And all of these people are like, I don't fucking know. So then I start going like, I don't know, maybe I think I maybe know 30% about me. And like, cool, how much do other people truly know inside who you really are? They're like, I don't know, like 5%, sometimes less. And I'm like, yet the judgments of others weigh how much on us? Somebody who knows substantially less about you than you do, and you don't even know completely about you. What qualification do other people who don't know very much about any topic have to be able to be accurately measured as a judgment? It seems like no qualification at all. If I only
Yeah,
know
I mean,
3% or
I
5%
mean,
about
you
how
put it like
cars
that.
work, if I don't know how something works, yet I want to tell you how good or bad I think it is, am I really qualified for that?
Absolutely not. Like, your opinion should be completely invalid. Like,
You'd think so, right? And yet,
I mean,
do
logically.
how often do we change ourselves for the opinions of others?
Yeah, see, I want to say I don't, but I know I do. Like,
We're social creatures.
say something as small as like your shoes don't match your jeans, bro, and you'll be like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
Yeah, better go get. I knew
and
I
you'll
should have wore
change.
those other shoes. I knew it.
Man, I'm walking around with these chap sneakers, with these jeans. And is everyone thinking that? Is that
Yep.
what everyone's talking about? It's if I'm being real, it's true. Like, you want to say that you don't care, but the reality of the matter is that you do. I do. I know that. I'm not going to pretend like I don't.
Yeah. We're social creatures and we want to fit in. And how do you know if you fit in? Well, other people will let you know if they think you fit in or don't. And those shoes don't go with those pants, and that means you don't fit in. And you're like, I agree with you. I agree with you based on what it is. And maybe they're an expert in fashion, perhaps. In which case, but do they know your authentic style? Do they know who you really are for you to be authentic for yourself, or is this their opinion of what they believe is best? And we don't challenge these things. One guy I'm going to have on here soon again, but we've done some work with is Tanner Guzzi. He's done TED Talks and he's done major speeches on are you wearing your authentic style? And one of the things that's interesting is it doesn't mean like everyone has to wear suits. Some people, that's not their authentic style. And some people it is. You have to figure out what is your authentic style that makes you most confident for who you are. It's fascinating stuff. You know, he gets in some very cool things. So I won't get too far into that. But what I would say is, how much do people who don't really know you have the qualifications to have their judgments be what changes you?
I mean, yeah, it's true. I can't. I try to put a number on it and put a percentage on it, but it's hard. I just it almost happens subconsciously without you realizing it. I would also say that it also depends on the type of person, like who it's coming from. Like if it's someone that you kind of disregard and they say something or they put their input, but you know that your opinion means absolutely nothing to me, it's pretty easy to like just, disregard it. And like the moment I round the corner, you disappear to me, like nothing. Me, shit. But when it's someone like that you actually know, that's opinion that you consider or input, whether it's a partner, whether it's a friend, whether it's a colleague, and they say something, you might not react in the moment, but I mean, it sits up here. Sometimes it sits up here like rent free, and you're like, oh, and you linger on things like that. And if you linger and sit on that for long enough, it starts to build up. It's and I'm speaking authentically here because I know that I've been in positions where there's times that I wanted to do something or try something or move forward, and then someone will just tell me like, "Ah, man, I don't think it will work." Gives you like 3 or 4 reasons off the top of their head as to maybe why they wouldn't do it, and then you'll just be like, "You know what? You're right." And then just like that, you're out of there. You want to try something new. You read some comment on Reddit, and you're like, well, I knew it, and it's like, what happened?
You receive that validation. That makes me right because somebody agrees with me.
So yeah, it's the unfortunate truth. But then being on the other side, I feel like I'm then guilty of that as well. Like when someone comes to me with something, and I'll just tell them, nope, no, don't do that. I don't believe in that. I'll give my personal opinion on something, and that might just take them completely off their path or their train of thought. Or I'll tell them, your shoes don't match your pants, my man, and then they'll go and change. So like it's I don't know, double-edged sword. Like wow, yeah, it's again, and this is what I've been thinking about. Like shit.
I like it. What about, all right, so we had the opinions of others have an impact on us. We all do this, social creatures. We have to do that. And especially the people close to us because we have this terminology in there. They know me best. We've been through so much. They know me better than anyone, right? So they must be more qualified to judge. And so when it gets down to their opinions that they have about something that they know the most of, which is not even close to how much you know of, yet when you ask you questions of who are you, is it based on who were you?
Yeah, see, that's exactly where I'm at.
People know you because they knew who you were and they've been through stuff with you. And it's who were you? Who are you?
That's
Are you
exactly where I'm at.
are you what you did? Is that what you are? Is that who you are? Is what I did?
I, and now this is exactly where the complex is.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you've been doing something a certain way for so long, you feel like that is who you are. This is what I do. This is what I'm known for. So then when you ask the questions, who are you? And now I'm in this position, like exactly where I said, where I want to be a better version of myself. I want to improve. I want to be better than who I was. I want to break habits, actions, change circles. I want to be more than this. But then it's that part where, like I said, you know who you are and what you've done and the actions you've taken. How do you just ignore all that? How do you like, you're trying to learn new actions and implement them, but you've been doing something for so long by a certain way that I mean, it's not easy, and you're just like, okay, stay true to the path, stay true to the path. But then, the path's got some pretty big fucking obstacles in it. And then you get to a point where you're actually like, what am I doing? Is this actually me? Like, do I even enjoy what I'm doing? And then again, you don't want to really discuss it with too many people because it's like, it's my journey. This is what I'm going to be doing. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just on repeat and on loop where I just take the same train of thought. And then, you stay true to the path, stay true to the path. If you want a different version of yourself, you're going to have to be and do different things. So that's where I'm at. And we're back. Yes, this is why it's like, yo, Rick, hook
Oh,
me up, man.
oh, we're gonna go full circle. I already see this. We'll get full circle. All right. So you said I don't discuss it with other people, and I keep repeating over and over again. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm not. We're going back to the beginning part here. I'm not going to ask for help because men don't ask for help. I'm not asking for help. I'm
No.
not going to reach out. I'm not going to ask anybody a different point of view. I don't need to do that. I can figure this out on my own, right? This happens with men extremely commonly, especially if it associates that because I need help, it's associated with being weak or inadequate,
Mm.
not good enough, stupid, not desirable. That's going to start lowering our options as far as I need help. This is incorrect. For any men who ever listen to this, it is incorrect to think that we are stronger because we can do it alone. And there is no successful men that I've ever seen that just do everything all by themselves. I don't care if you're a Spartan, we create a phalanx. I don't care if you're a construction worker with a crew, you get way more done. I don't care if you're a football player with a team, you're far more, you're capable. The team is what wins. I don't care if you're in military. I don't care if you're Navy SEALs. No one's ever looked at a Navy SEAL team and said, "What a bunch of bitches! They all work together." You know what I mean? Like this is like the team is powerful. And then when it comes down to wisdom, like one thing that I really enjoyed is that I heard the concept of if I read a book, I get to gather the years of that person's wisdom in that book. So let's say someone was 60 years old. And I read a man who's been through 60 years, and this is the wisdom I have accumulated over 60 years. I have just advanced my brain 60 years of wisdom. Well, let's read another book from a guy who was 45. Well, now I have 105 years of wisdom that I have just advanced my brain in just two books. However long it takes to read, doesn't matter. Let's multiply this by many books, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 40-year-olds. Doesn't matter. I'm advancing the wisdom up to this generation to this point. And now I have advanced my brain hundreds to thousands of years because I'm gathering information. Is it easier to go it all alone or gather all of this wisdom without having to figure it out? Well, that's one aspect of it. Take in real time being able to work something out now. In our group with our men, if somebody has some problem like coming up, and let's say there's 10 guys on one call, average age 40 years old, let's just say that, okay? Average age, sometimes lower, sometimes higher. Let's just say. All right, let's say that we got 400 years of wisdom sitting in one room right now. And somebody goes, "This is the situation I've come up with." And there are guys who are like, "I have also had to overcome that. Here's how I did it." Well, here's how I did it. Here's how I did it. And now I can gather all these different points of view. Some I agree with and some I don't. Some I can apply and some I cannot. And now I can choose from 400 years of perspective versus just my own years of perspective. Now I have more information to be able to make better choices. And so when I'm sitting alone with myself, am I sitting alone with only the information I've been exposed to? Or do I have access to more information to make better decisions? Does that make me weak? Does that make me inadequate? Does that make me undesirable because I can advance my brain in a short amount of time with a lot of information from a long period of time? Does that make me not good enough?
See, like when you paint it in that context, it just makes a lot more sense. Which then, I mean, like I said, I completely agree with you in sense that, as a team we're stronger. I've played sport for many years in my life, and I enjoy team sports, and I feel like many people working towards the same common goal will help you achieve said goal. Um, However, if I look at a sports team, SEALs team, any sort of team, it just feels that there is a mission or a task and something that needs to be completed, and when we overcome it, everyone's aligned, or everyone together, you become stronger, and you'll achieve. But then if you take out the individuals within that, you don't always know what that person is dealing with or facing. And like you were saying, as men, and as a man that's grown up in a sense that I don't like to talk about my feelings and talk about what's bothering me and bitch and moan about all that shit. And I say it respectfully. I'm not trying to downplay anything, but it is hard to open up to your rugby team. It is hard to open up to your group of men. It's hard to be the one that feels weak amongst men that could be perceived as strong. So it would then come down to your circle, I guess.
Sure. Have you ever opened up to the guys on your team before?
I mean, like, not as a team, definitely not, never.
But I mean, like, you just go, like, hey guys, I'm really working through some stuff right now. I'm going through some tough times, and this is some of the stuff I'm sorting out. Have you ever done that before?
I mean, in a sense, yes. Like, just so that if they know that, like, if you can pick something up and be like, guys, I'm just working through some stuff right now. I've got a lot going on. I've got a lot of personal issues, like, but I'll never elaborate on what these issues are.
Well, how was it taken when you went at least that far? How did they treat you?
Quite respectful.
Okay.
Like, oh, okay, cool. You got shit.
I don't talk about my feelings with these guys, but anytime I ever have even brought it up, it's been pretty respectful and very cool.
Correct.
Well, don't open up to those guys then. This is something that's different. This is funny that we think we have to put on this tough guy persona for the other men around us as though we're chimpanzees fighting for alpha position. We're not. We all have our own packs. We all have our own groups. We all have our own things that we do. And being around with other guys who are also leaders does not mean that you are not capable or not strong enough. You're not competing for position with these guys. Men can be empathetic to other men. This is something that gets missed by society. This is why we have to have our hang out in the garage or go shoot basketball or go play a sport with each other or work on the car. This is why guys have to have guy time, is because men can be empathetic to men. We can do that. I can, bro, I hear where you're coming from, man. Oh man, I'm with you on that one. Oh, that's gotta be tough, bro. Shoot, how could I help, man? I want to be there with you, man. Like, we can care about what you're feeling. It's tough for our ladies to do that. Not to say women can't be empathetic, but it's very difficult to their man. And so it's going to be, I have to guard my feelings around this one because it seems like I don't want to talk about my feelings. Came from somewhere. Who taught you talking about your feelings is not a good idea?
I'm just going to go with, I feel like I can't pinpoint it to a specific moment. It just feels like it's always just been, like, ingrained. I guess I can't remember a time where it's not been like that. Personally, I'm like, if I'm just trying to rack my brain, I just know that, as men are tough, man. That's what we do. Like, if you want to cry,
who told you that? It's farther back than you can remember. Well, who was around?
I would not be able to pinpoint it to a single specific moment where I was like, it was at that moment, 6 a.m. Tuesday.
Sure.
And then she said, I wouldn't know. I've just always, maybe it's the perception I've done for myself. Maybe it's something I've told myself. Maybe I'm starting to bring that 80% a little lower. Fuck. I don't know. I can't tell you. It's how I've always, it's how I've perceived things. It's how I've always understood it. And it's so deeply ingrained in me that I almost, it becomes natural. Like, it's not my go-to. It's not like when something happens, the first thing that happens to me is not like I need to tell somebody what just happened. I'm just like, oh, yo, shit, shut that shit down. Just like, yo, okay, you'll deal with this.
There's
handle
a
this.
system of suppression that you have to push that shit down. Don't talk about that. Don't share that. That came from a place that you have to, like, have protection from something. There's some point where you're like, I'm going to share my feelings, and someone said, you don't do that as a man. There's some point, because remember, little kids aren't born with that. Children aren't born with, oh, you got to shove that down. Real men don't cry. That's taught behavior. Well, somebody taught you that. Now, if it's before you were really making true memories that you created this suppression system, I would probably lean into childhood where we go like, well, that's the way my dad was. That's what mom always told me to do. And that's why I don't do that. Whenever I would cry, they'd be like, stop crying. Or even the ever classic American one, if you're crying, I'll give you a reason to cry.
Oh, I've heard that before.
You got that one too?
I
That's also in
think
Africa.
I've,
You're like, if you're
oh, yeah,
crying, I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
why
I
you're
think that's a
crying. So
universal one.
okay,
Okay,
that's global. I didn't know. All right, so I'll give you
yeah.
a reason to cry, which is such an interesting thing by itself, by the way. Is like obviously you're sad, but because I don't know why you're sad, I'm gonna hit you so at least I know why you're sad, so that way I can understand your sadness, but then I want you to stop it. Come on, parents. Come on, this doesn't even make any sense. You're sad. I don't know why you're sad, so I'm gonna hit you so at least I know why you're sad, but I want you to not be sad because it's annoying. So stop being sad. That's people doing their
Yeah, no,
best, man. That's their best.
yeah, yeah, no,
Damn it. For
no.
anybody listening, like,
Not particularly effective,
yeah, it
eh?
seems counterproductive. All right. So, in which case, I don't talk about my feelings. This is a lot of guys. We learn this. We learn we have to suppress our emotions. I think it comes down to an obvious reason. Why would I have to suppress my emotions? People don't fucking care.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid one. Like,
Pe-
yeah,
People don't care. If I tell my emotions, it seems like nobody cares.
I'm with you. I've literally even gotten to a point, and again, this is why I speak about these things now, because I'm at a point where it is even more natural to me to not want to speak about things. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel I even get to a point where I get uncomfortable speaking about things. I really do. I
Mm-hmm.
just like I can chat, man. You want to go and you want to talk about the World Cup coming up? We can talk match stats. We can talk players. We can talk, fixtures. Like we can go all in. I'm happy to discuss topics in depth. I'm happy to discuss ideas. I'm happy to discuss opportunities. But then when you're like, so how are you? I'm fine. What type of fucking question is that, man? Uh, and then I really don't want to get into that, and it does make me feel uncomfortable. And I'm going to be real with you. I don't like it. Even if, and to the point where even when someone comes to me and wants to like discuss things in depth, it's easier for me to have empathy and sympathize for someone going
With
through
their
something.
stuff. With their stuff.
Yeah, of
No,
course.
no problem with their stuff, right?
Yeah, cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
what's up, man? I got you, bro. It's all good, fam.
Mhm.
And but I mean, like, I don't want to be that guy. Like, nah,
I can help other people, but I don't want them helping me.
no.
Interesting. It's a pretty fascinating system that you have, right?
Yeah, it's flawed.
It may have a hiccup or two. I don't talk about my feelings. People don't care, man. They don't care, and so I can help them with their feelings. I don't mind helping them with theirs, but if I have to share mine, that doesn't go well. Has anything bad ever happened when you shared your feelings before? You ever been rejected? You ever been dumped? You ever been left
Yeah.
because nothing like that has ever happened?
I mean, like I said,
You've been closing that off for too long.
yeah, I'm trying to think of like real like moments, but in moments that I have shared my feelings, like I mean, I'm not a robot. It,
Yeah.
ha- it has happened, and I can't really say it's been perceived negatively, but personally, I can say that there is a feeling of discomfort that comes with it, where I'm like, oh man.
Hmm.
Mm. And then there's that part where I said where it feels like shit. Now this person knows that about me.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
What can they do if they know that? What can they do?
yo, wow. Someone just saw that version of myself, or that in that moment, or saw an aspect of myself that I don't reveal, and that's not comfortable. I
What
don't
can
like it.
what can they do, Andrew? Now that they know more about you, what can they do?
I don't know, man. I don't like to think about that. I let them know,
Mm.
like, yo,
Hold on. We gotta
if you do
let me
anything,
let me see what you're seeing. Oh yeah, that looks okay. I don't like to think about it either. Let's just pretend it's not there. What if they know? What if they knew? What if they really knew you? What would they be able to do?
Sure.
What if they can get down inside like the core area? What would happen?
I
Can they hurt you?
I can't. I wouldn't actually know how to answer. I just feel I feel vulnerable. Let's
Hmm.
say that.
What happens if you're
And
vulnerable? What can they do?
I don't know, play on that, manipulate,
Mm.
you know, control. If I can just, I don't know. Feels like you got something on me. I just don't
Yeah,
like it.
and they can hurt you.
And they can hurt you.
They can get you now. Now you've made yourself vulnerable. Is vulnerability smart or is that stupid? If I make
Yeah.
myself vulnerable, is that a clever tactic? Is that a good idea for me to do for strength?
No, no. See, the vulnerability goes against how I operate. It,
Hmm.
if I can tell you now, my walls are high. I don't like to be vulnerable. I don't like to open myself up to people. I don't like to share feelings. It's not, like I said, I was about to use the words. It's not who I am.
There you go.
Um,
Yeah, identity. I'm gonna. I know who I am.
um,
I'm the guy who doesn't let you
yeah,
know who I am. That's who I am.
yeah, there it is. So um, yeah, like for me, vulnerability is not. It's not a comfortable situation I like to put myself in
Yeah,
at all in any regard.
you won't have control if you do. They'll control you. And when people control you, are people? Do you think people do the right thing and are fair if they have control? For the most part, at least in your life, your experiences. Do you think
That's a
people do
coin
the?
flip.
Do you think they do the right thing enough that you would just relinquish control to others with no problem? Like you can just have control of me.
No,
No,
no, just no.
no. Yeah. So, what about being a protector? Do you identify yourself as like a protector? If you see somebody doing injustice, you make sure that you step in or you get involved.
I mean, up to circumstance, but for the most part, yeah.
Not necessarily random, but as far as like somebody
Mm.
who's close to you or you're with somebody and somebody starts picking on someone who's not necessarily as capable to defend themselves, do you sit and
Yeah, no.
watch?
Oh no, never. No.
Never. Never do that. You make sure you protect. And yeah, you make sure you also, would it be fair to say, determine your own course in life? I'm going to do it my own way, even if that's not what other people agree with.
I'm pretty headstrong in that direction, yeah.
As long as you are in control and you are strong, you're good.
I mean, it's kind of how I like to operate,
Hmm.
in a nutshell. But yes, I like to have control. I like to be strong. I feel like I am able to protect those that I care about. Um,
So we are guarded up, bro. That's some strong armor you got. I'll make sure that
um,
nobody gets in here. No, no. This complicates something, though. It makes it complicated. I can't be vulnerable because vulnerability is weakness. I have to be strong so I don't let people in because that people will have control and they'll hurt me. Can't let them do that. This is safety, security, convenience. It's convenient. I don't have to deal with the bullshit because I can block all that stuff out, right? Sounds pretty good.
boom, boom.
Yeah, feel strong, right? How does love get in here?
Bro, slowly.
Yeah, we got to go through a lot of gates, right? A lot of checks. We got to check for weapons. You got to walk through the metal detector. You got to, pat downs. There's a lot of trials you got to go through. It's interesting that this protection system that you have, that you say this keeps me safe and secure, sounds an awful lot like prison.
Yeah.
It keeps the bad
It's
stuff out, but it also keeps the good stuff out, and you can't leave it or else you'll be vulnerable.
yeah, it's tough to navigate.
Well, it's hard in prison. You don't get a lot of freedom there.
Yeah, no, not ideal. Like no, so you never hear anybody like, "Hey, yo, man, I can't wait to go to prison." So like, no.
Well, all you have to do is just change the sign in the front and call it Safety Securityville. What place is
Yeah,
safer than prison?
yeah. It's again, it's a flawed system.
All right, maybe we'll go back to that percentage. Maybe we'll change it a little bit. This 80 is getting to be a very different number.
Yeah, no, it's I was about to say, like, what's that gauge like? It was a little off. Like maybe I was measuring it on a different scale. Um,
Yeah, protection's a very interesting thing. You're quick to be able to put in protection. I'm gonna go back to something that you said about being protective too, about being open and sharing with everybody because it's very guarded up at the moment. But you also said I'm an asshole because, and you gave a few different definitions for what an asshole is. I just tell people the truth, or I'll say here's what I really think about it, or I'll say yeah I like that or I don't like that, and people think I'm an asshole. Interesting judgment for somebody who's being honest.
like I said, it's all perception. Um, on my side, I prefer it when someone is honest with me,
Mhm.
and I prefer it if I know where I stand with someone, and if someone doesn't like me or doesn't like how my character, my actions, the way I speak, I'm always more comfortable with someone that is more straight up with me and says like, listen, I don't like this, I don't like that, and I even respect that more. I really do. There we go back to respect.
Mhm.
Um, and I try to be authentic in that manner as well. That if I don't like something, or I don't value something, or I don't think something's a good idea, I will say that. But then, so like some people will tell me straight, like you can't say that. Oh no, this person. And I'm like, okay, well then say nothing. But then I feel like that's not being authentic. So then I'm happy to just rather say nothing. But then if you ask me, do you want me to lie?
That would be unjust. That's the wrong thing
That
to
then I'm
do.
doing an injustice to myself. I don't
Hmm.
want to put myself in a position where like, oh my God, what an awesome idea. No, that is fucking stupid. Don't do that. Like it's just and this is the conundrum that you play with. So do you want honesty or do you want me to lie to you? Like what do you want from me?
Hmm.
And then if I so then I get to a point where I'm like, okay, cool. So do I lie to you or do I lie to me?
We're getting asked to lie either way. Who am I lying to?
This doesn't feel fair.
Hmm. And fair is, you got to do it fair. It's about what is right, not who is right. Do the right thing.
Isn't
Even,
isn't that isn't that how it's supposed to go?
you'd think so. The truth and my truth is a little subjective. Reality and
Oh,
my perception is reality gets a little bit fuzzier. Like your reality is for you, like your perception is I am safe and secure as long as I am strong and I am in control. I am good. And this is why I don't give any control or any power away because I don't tell people things because they'll use it against me. They'll control me or they'll hurt me. And because of that, I don't give them control and I don't give them hurt. And that makes me strong. Do you want to hear something that's going to be, you already know I like to mind fuck you a little bit on this stuff. Want me to tell you
yep, all yep.
want me to give
I
you
don't, I
some
don't,
really
why do I
powerful
keep
piece?
signing up for this?
I believe, and this is me assuming, this is what the way that you're describing yourself, Enneagram type and personality type, you are the challenger. You are a type 8, you would be a leader type. In which case, there's a lot of protection systems around this, especially when it comes down to how to protect yourself. What is the best defense? What's
Offense.
That's right. That's type 8s, bro. The best defense is to destroy them first. I will go
Oh,
hard. And that's I think that you're type 8. This is based on a little bit of information, but so far it seems pretty accurate. You would lean into that part. I know this.
I'm not.
I
I'm
am
not even stopping you, man.
I can see this because I am also a type 8. Now, there are different
Okay.
levels of what a healthy to unhealthy version is. Here's the mind-blowing part. If you're looking at the different stages of health for a type 8, a lot of times people mistake type 8s for being narcissists or being crazy or whatever it would be. It's ironic that type 8s are the opposite. Like a narcissist would try to trap you and keep you put into place and try and manipulate you to get what they want. A type 8 would be like, if you don't like it, get the fuck out. And they think that's the same. Well, one's trying to lock you down, the other one's trying to kick you out. Not the same. Like,
No, definitely so.
well, they're both really, really mean, right? not in the same way. And so I did a training one time on the difference between a type 8 and a narcissist because they get misjudged and they're the opposite of it. In fact, 8s hate narcissists. They hate them,
Yes.
and the other way around. Narcissists hate 8s. So the irony is somebody thinks that they're mean and they're aggressive and they say mean things and they're loud and they go hard on people. They must be a narcissist. It is the opposite end of the spectrum. This also generally means it's because I was a hurt kid and I will get stronger so I can protect others to not be hurt like I was. It is the opposite. And most 8s are protective. Now, the unhealthy version can be very aggressive. And this protection system does give you respect. Don't fuck with him. He's crazy. Don't fuck with him. He'll fucking punch you in the face. Don't do that. Not good. He will hurt you. But that's a good protector. So that's attractive. Looks confident. That guy yells. He knows what he wants. That's confident, right? It's good when it's used on other people, but don't use it on your partner. They don't like that. They like it when you protect them with it, but don't use it against them. They don't like that. Then it's judged, and then your anger is bad again. Pretty tricky system.
On exactly that. And I would take it even one step further, as it's not even just with a partner, it's with anybody. With any type of relationship, whether it's a colleague, whether it's a friend, whether it's a friend of a friend, an associate. If you don't like something and you reprimand someone or bring them up on that, and you don't allow that shit to slide, then all of a sudden it's like, what is wrong with you?
Don't let it slide. That's not right. It's unjust. Do the right thing. Accountability is right.
Yeah, to a certain degree. And this is why, like I said, it's this constant dilemma of who I was to who I am to where I want to be.
All right, here's a tough thing. Now, obviously, with the accountability, here's where I could test my 8s often too. If they go, yeah, I did that shit, my bad, can you just let it go? Yeah, my bad.
Depends what it was.
Okay, let's say like, oh man, you I don't know, you took my thing that you didn't ask permission for, and they're like, oh dude, my bad. Yeah, I definitely did. My bad. I'll give it back. I didn't realize it was important to you. Sorry about that. Can you let it go?
If they give it back, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't realize it was that big a deal.
I don't like it, but I can let it go. I'll be able to let it go. Yeah.
Justice has been done. I can let that go.
He bought it back. Didn't bring it back. Oh man,
I didn't even. What if I said like you knew I took it, but I'm like I didn't take it?
Oh hell no.
The investigation begins.
Oh man, I'm gonna make sure. Like I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got like, just admit it, man. I know you did it.
Admit it. Admit it. Yeah, I think you're a type A, bro. The challenger, the nonconformist. I'm going to push against the grain. I don't care who likes it and doesn't like it. So this is a funny thing about this is there's levels of health when it comes to each personality type. And so for yours, obviously the aggression part is going to be serving you for most of it because the best defense is a good offense. And in order to get respect, I shall make sure I get respect. I will even demand it if necessary. You will respect me or else. Type 8s are difficult to deal with because most people don't understand that stuff. You want to hear the toughest part about each personality type in order to get to the number, like the top healthiest version of what you are. If there's like a 1 through 9 scale of like different levels of health, 9 through number 2 is going to operate under a healthy version of protection and being able to like best defense is a good offense. Vulnerability is stupid. I'm not going to let you guys in. It's still a healthy version even of doing that to a very unhealthy, toxic version of I hurt everyone around me because I can't deal with my shit. This is whole spectrum here. The toughest part is when you go from number 2 to number 1. The real answer is to go Super Saiyan. I don't know if you guys know Dragon Ball Z, but...
Oh, man.
All right. You want to know how you go Super Saiyan?
Hook me up.
Vulnerability makes you 10 times stronger. There is no way that's the answer.
Like
This
I
is
literally thought, like I was like, we're going Super Saiyan, and you went with vulnerability. I was like,
it.
oh,
It cannot be
what?
the answer. This does not make sense. This goes against all logic. There is no way me being vulnerable and me being open to attack and me losing control, there is literally zero math that I'm doing right now that adds up that makes you stronger. It cannot be true that if I make myself vulnerable, I am stronger. That can't be true. That's stupid. Fair or not fair?
It sounds pretty ludicrous,
Sounds
man. Like
crazy.
it just,
But
it conflicts with everything else.
want to do a really fun
Be
practice?
open to be stronger. Be,
Doesn't make any
yeah,
sense.
oh, bro, just
I
like,
got one for you. You ready? I enjoy talking to you. Do you want to
aye,
know? Do you want to know one of the reasons I like talking to you?
yes, please.
I believe in you, man. Like I believe in
Oh,
you. I think that you're fucking awesome, and I believe in you.
boy, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That's why I like hanging out with you. I think that you are something unique. I think that you are a special guy, and I think that you have something amazing to offer the world. And I love hanging out with you, and I want to see how high you can fly and help you get there. I believe in you.
Okay, I I appreciate that. I like speaking to you as well. You give me a lot of insight, and I'm learning a lot about myself. I just learned my personality type, like
For sure.
down to the down to the like dot the I's, cross the T's. Um, so
How do
yeah,
you,
I
how do you
thank you.
feel right now?
I mean, I feel pretty good.
Pretty good, right?
No.
Being able to share, I believe in you. I'm proud of you. I love you. These are vulnerabilities. Most don't even do that. In fact, to be able to take a compliment is difficult for some guys who are so guarded up. What I did was I shared my heart. I believe in you. I put myself on an altar of rejection because you can be like, you don't even know me, man. Who are you to believe in me? It's easy to get rejected when you put your heart out there like that. And I said, no, my heart says I believe in you, man. And you're like, that feels really good.
Hmm, it does. Hey man, that's a.
For a
I'll
type
take the
8,
compliment.
for a type 8, that's some Super Saiyan shit. This means I don't have
Sure.
to be in my prison and I can let you in, man. Come in the house.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently, there's a door.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
have
Yeah,
to
but
go
I'm
through all
I'm
the
gonna
metal
be I'm gonna
detectors.
be real. Like why I value what you say. And I appreciate where you come from, and I've been in conversation with you and been a part of your class for some time. So it I can take that where I can see the perception though of what you're saying, because if that had to come from someone, like if this was our first call ever and you just like open up with that, my guard would probably be up like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
who you, bro? I would. I mean, I can see me going that direction. Like it's different now because, like I said, I've engaged with you on multiple occasions. So now it's like, okay, he believes in me. Oh, man, feels good.
Mm-hmm.
But had this been like a first call and be like, hey, so like, I'm Andrew, I'm really what's up? It's like, I believe in you, man. Be like, yo, man, is that some shit you tell all your students at the end of every call? Is that what is it? Is that your little go-to line? Like, come on, man. What is
Mm-hmm.
this? Uh,
But
but
it's
yeah, I
my
can definitely see how you would go there.
but you've interacted with me enough to know I just don't walk around telling everybody I believe in them all the time.
Yeah, I would say that. Yes,
Yeah, you've seen enough phone calls where I'm like, you guys got to lean on each other. Together we're stronger. Let's be a team, right? But how often do I tell people, especially when you see me do those large groups, those big presentations,
mm,
how often do you see me go, I believe in you and I believe in you and I believe like an
yeah,
Oprah
no,
Winfrey thing? No,
no, I don't, exactly. I don't see you doing that shit.
it's inauthentic.
Otherwise, I don't know. Would take a little bit of something away from it.
It would be inauthentic to just throw it around willy nilly. You have to really
Yes.
know, like, is this person somebody that I have judged as respective, like the pieces I respect that I believe in that person? It takes a little bit more than just knowing someone's name. Now, we've gotten a good amount of
Cool.
hours together before this conversation, and I can authentically tell you from the bottom of my heart, I believe in you.
I like that. I appreciate that, and I do. I really, I say thank you,
Yeah.
because I mean, I
And
believe in me too.
that's how you can show vulnerability as a type 8. to inspire and encourage and build, because real alphas aren't afraid to let you in, because I want to help you grow and be as strong as you can be. I'm not afraid of what you could do to hurt my feelings. I'll be okay. So come on and let's grow together.
I love that, and it's why I do enjoy these calls, because you do give me proper value. You do allow me to explore deeper. You do understand the mind better than I ever will, and it's why I can speak to you, because it feels like there's real value here. It's not a motivational pep talk. You can do it one day at a time. What the fuck is this? AA? Like, come on, man.
You can do it. Yay.
Woo!
I can do what? What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm with you. I have the same mindset to be able to go, like, if you don't really know me, don't tell me the bullshit, man. Especially if there's a big price tag associated to it. You don't know me, man. You just want that money. I get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did like is there was something that you said, because I was going through your videos where you spoke about the creed. And it was something that really resonated with me, where there was this one towards the end where you said you got to have skin in the game. And I really like that, because the moment you are invested into something and you put yourself into something, it's not as easy to walk away. And I like that, because then when the going gets tough, which it will, like it will, like you will sit here rent free and you'll be like, this guy. But when you're invested and you know that this is where I'm going, and you truly want to make the change and truly want to get to the better version of yourself, you will stay the course. And that is why, as difficult and challenging as I find a lot of these things and these obstacles, and like I told you, why I go full circle, I still keep coming back, because I know that who I want to be and where I want to go outweighs everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's also good to have that accountability system in there. I wish it wasn't true. I really do. I wish that people would not quit on themselves as easily as they do. And the reality is if you do invest as much into yourself as, like, this is how far I can reach, this is the most I can put in, this is my skin in the game, and this is a lot to me. It doesn't matter. It's all perspective. It's a lot to me. It makes it difficult on the day when you're like, oh my gosh, this is really hard and I don't want to do this. And the Warriors Way program, I have never had anyone yet go through the whole thing and go, that was really easy, man. It's really hard. I challenge people to their core. And so they know themselves when they're done. Like, these answers to these questions are not questions anymore. They're like, I know exactly who I am, but I had to tear out 30 years of stuff that wasn't authentic, stuff that wasn't mine, stuff that was a security system, a coping mechanism, a defense. I didn't know what a boundary was. I would just give everything away for free. I didn't have any clue who I was, and I would get mad or triggered at everything until I realized the answers. And now I don't have that fears. I don't have insecurities like I did. I know myself, and I'm proud of that. And I have healthy boundaries, and it was really hard to do. We have to go through nightmares to get there. We have to kill demons, break curses, and sometimes kill dragons, which is things in their lives that are destroying everything that they have. In which case, there are going to be the days that I go, we're going to go into battle, and they're going to go, fuck that. Oh no, I can't quit. I put in too much. I put in too much to quit. And that's why I was glad people believed in themselves enough to go, I can't quit. I invested too much. You have to have skin in the game. You want to hear something that's kind of cool? This is something not everybody knows. Is even with our high ticket offers, the stuff that we do that, it's a few grand. It's expensive because we rewire people's entire belief systems to help them change their life to be authentic and confident in who they are. That's that by itself. But there are people who deserve to be able to have the shot. The people who, like, I don't have that money, but I would not quit. And I do my own skin in the game. And so in each group, there is one person that I pay for. someone who cannot afford it. Now they have to do the work inside of the group, and so a lot of times they'll have purpose and value. They have to have their skin in the game, which may not be monetary, but it's going to be through volunteer. You're going to be
Mm,
doing some job because you got to help out. That's how you pay your way. We all support each other. Everybody here helps out. So there's always a skin in the game, and when you're invested in being able to say I believe in myself and or I believe in others enough to be able to put in the time and effort, people stick around, man. Skin in the game is an important part of the Warriors Way creed. People
I
who pay, they pay
completely,
attention.
you really will, and I get that. And but the beautiful part is that as you go through the journey, it is a because it is a journey, and there's many things that you learn. It's it's the process that you start to fall in love with. It's doing things that initially feel uncomfortable in the beginning, um, and as you start to grow, things become a little bit more comfortable. You know, if you look at some of the bigger groups, you know, sometimes you'll sit like, you know, in a call, all cameras off, no one even looks at each other, and
Mm-hmm.
you just chart the way, and you just like jump on the mic and you speak, and then, you know, as you become more comfortable, you'll be like, ah, you know, today I'll switch my camera on because I'm actually confident enough to just sit here and just like, you know, if someone's looking at me, then like, I mean, have a good look, man. um, but you know, and then you get more confidence and you start to engage more, and then you start to ask questions, and then it's a process. Sometimes processes are uncomfortable, but you know, we've all heard the saying like comfort comes out of your comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
which I completely agree with. But sometimes it just really fucking sucks, and that's where that skin in the game keeps you invested when you really don't want to be there, when you're in these positions where it's just like, man, it was fun, I enjoyed it, but I think I'm good now. And unfortunately it doesn't work like that. You know, play your 9 holes, finish the game, you know, play your 80 minutes, you know, it's what it's about. But it's definitely a battle, and that's what I like about the way you've created the concept, is that correct, of the warrior mindset, because it is a battle. You are going to slay dragons, you're going to slay demons, you are going to go through some shit, you need to armor up. Like, it's the best way that I can even relate to, because, well, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, man.
You have to train. It's been working, man. I really do have a lot of honor for what you're saying, and I appreciate you very much for even recognizing and seeing that this is different. It is not the same as other things. We train skills and do practice on actual abilities every day. We have to know where we are to know where we're going to go. You're asking good questions, hard questions to answer. You're asking good questions. Who am I? Am I who I was? Am I what I did? How do I sit with myself? And I
Yeah.
appreciate you for being able to show us a little bit of what happens in your mind when you sit with yourself. And I think it's highly relatable to a lot of people. So it's an honor, man.
I I think that if you are true to yourself, like when you start to cut the distractions and you actually allow yourself to just be quiet for some time and really sit and think, I feel like it's one of the reasons why we like to stay distracted.
Hmm.
Because when we have to think, we have to reflect, we have to look back, and that shit sucks. Like I said, there's a lot of things I've done that I'm not particularly proud of. There's things I've said that I'm not proud of. There's things that there's actions I've taken that I'm not proud of. And you know, in a past version of myself, I would just be like, I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. Like, it sounds like a you problem, my man. Back of the mind, like there's things where I'm just like, I could have handled that better. I could have taken a different approach. I could be different. And as you want to move forward, and as I continue to move forward to bettering myself, things like that linger, and it's tough to face. You know, it's kind of easier to block it off. It's kind of easier to not confront it. But as we've now learned, vulnerability makes you stronger, and it is the key to going Super Saiyan. So it's things like that will challenge you completely, and you just gotta like if you didn't like the answer, tough, mate. That is the answer.
Put the armor back up. You just did a good job of being.
Yeah, it's like, there. Oh man, I was hoping it was gonna be something else.
That was powerful. Even what you just said, man, that was a big part of your heart. That like you're like, I'm gonna give it a shot here, and it's pretty awesome to see. Like, you know what, I'm gonna try it, and that's a testament to you and your courage to say, you know what, I'm gonna try this vulnerability thing. Doesn't make any fucking sense. It does. It's not logical.
No.
But to surrender and say, well, let me really try and connect with you. And let me share something with you that's important to me to make it so we can connect. This is going Super Saiyan for an 8. For a challenger type. This means I don't have to be in my prison. And I can actually come out and hang out and not be worried that you're going to hurt me. Pretty badass, bro. We got a lot of road to go, man.
Like I said, it's going to be a process, man. Like it's not going to be like, I did it.
It took a couple of years for me to
be running it back, man.
I had to go into a hyperbolic time chamber just to be able to get the time in, man. It took me probably a hard, diligent growth. It took me about 2 years to be able to crack through that. Like, and that was because I was kind of just going. I wasn't working with anybody. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have another person who showed me how to do it. And I didn't have any examples. So I was going off of the wisdom of the books. I was going off of people who had more knowledge than me. But it also raised a lot of humility. And this was a thing I got from Marcus Aurelius. And this is something I'll leave with people when it comes down to, especially the guys who don't ask for help. A lot of times guys wait until there's crisis to even go, shit, I need help. When it comes down to being able to grow, even the king of Rome, and I don't know if you guys know who Marcus Aurelius is, but that was the king of Rome at the height of Rome.
Yeah.
And he was the most powerful man in the world. Rome was like, that was the big deal. Like, and so to be the king of Rome is like, you know, at that point, like the president of the world, you know. And he was a stoic, and he said, I will listen to the information that people share, whatever the source. But the thing I really enjoyed about him was he said, I reserve the right to change my mind with new information. Even as the king, if you give me better information, I reserve the right to change my mind, which means your ego is not your amigo. You do not need to hold on to your pride when it comes down to being able to change your opinion. It's okay to go, you know what? I didn't know that. Allow me to change my mind. That's humility.
I love that.
Vulnerability, and that's power. Because if the king of the world at that time is able to say, well, with that information allows me to have the reserve the right to change my mind, then someone like me can do the same thing.
I completely get that. If I didn't want any new information, I didn't want to challenge my own beliefs, and if I didn't want to be better than I currently am, then I wouldn't be here, and I could just continue to do as I've done and hope and pray for a miracle. Like, exactly. Unfortunately, that's not how it goes. So, this is part of the journey, and like I said, it's as tough as the road may get. It is a journey that you have to walk.
Well, let me just tell you, with that journey.
Talk to me. I'm listening.
With that journey, it's better when we're together.
Yeah, true that.
It's a lot better when you
got me on that. Like, I'm not even denying that one.
We think we have to go it alone. And there are certain battles that we have to do alone, and the battlefield of the mind is definitely the hardest fight that we have. But when it comes down to it, going in on this, it's better to have allies, people that you can trust, people you can be vulnerable with, and people who want you to succeed, who believe in you. And that's why together we're stronger. So that's the battlefield of the mind. This is the warrior's way mindset. It's kind of funny because people go like, you're the nicest warrior I've ever met. I'm like, you haven't gone into battle with me. I've killed demons and dragons on people.
I love that.
And they think I am just because I can be vulnerable and I can be soft. It's not because I am weak. I can be vulnerable because I am strong and I am not afraid.
I like that.
You'll see when you go Super Saiyan.
It's gonna take time to
It's the other way around.
It's yeah, I got a whole bunch of notes here, man.
That's my guy. I hope a lot of people had notes. We're going to call it right there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you, Andrew, for hanging out with us today, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Rick. You've left me with a whole lot to think about. We're gonna have to run it back. So appreciate the time, and I just and thank you for the insight and like what you do. I really do feel like you are making a difference in people's lives, and definitely are making an impact in mine.
I appreciate you too, brother. So much honor, man. Thank you so
Sweet.
much. All right.
Cheers,
Have a
Rick.
good one.
Have a good
Be
one.
safe.